Hi, it's Chris here. How are you doing? So this is the Onda at the top here, the Onda v820w CH, and below here is the Cube iwork8 Ultimate. So they're both cherry trails. They both have the Atom X5 Z8300 in it, and both of them actually get hot. They both get up to 85 degrees when you start to benchmark gaming or you start to really push the Atom chipsets. Then they do get quite hot. So you can see that they do have quite a different design here, different motherboard layouts on both of them. And here's the Onda speaker there on the rear, and the speaker on the Cube is up on the top left here. Now both of those speakers are very poor, don't particularly like them. They're just a single speaker and they really do kind of struggle. Now the build quality of both of them seems reasonably good. I mean, they've taped down where the ribbons have been connected up. Cube, Onda have, at least here on the top, and Cube has taped the batteries taped in, it's glued in, while it's got double-sided tapes kept on here, and overall doesn't seem too bad. There is quite a difference when it comes to the chipsets. Now they've got like a heat spreader or a larger kind of aluminium or tin heat spreader or heat sink on top of the Onda here, and here's our Atom chipset. Now that device manager said it had an N-card eMMC. It's actually the 4C brand. It's either 4C or B-Win that normally comes up with that. And the RAM here, these are the 512 megabyte modules here from Kingston. There's of course 4 of them for our 2 gigabytes of RAM. And the camera's glued in place. It doesn't seem too bad. Now we could actually just ditch this right here. I think you could get away with just some thermal adhesive, put a bit of that, put that on top of the actual Atom chipset, and you might actually find you can lower temperatures probably about by 20 degrees. Now the backing of both of the tablets, this is the Cube's backing plate, has a foil on the back of it to stop that heat coming through on the plastic and the tablet getting warm to the touch. There it is, the back of the Onda there. And Cube have gone things slightly different. So what they, instead of a heat spreader like the Onda, they're using some tape. Well, it's like a copper tape on top of that. So that's going to spread the heat around away from the Atom chipset that you can see right there. There's the cherry trail. And the eMMC, that larger chip right there, is another 4C brand. And not particularly fast. I mean, the Toshibas and the Samsungs are definitely better, but it's probably a cheaper component. You have to remember that both of these are in about the 80 US price range. They are very cheap tablets for what you're getting, and I think the kind of build quality they have for that price is okay, and what you'd really expect. They have to keep their prices down and still somehow make a profit out of making these. So I think also too with this one, we could probably just get rid of that, ditch that spreader tape, and a bit of thermal adhesive and a nice, probably by a 10 by 10, 1mm thick copper shim on top of that would definitely help lower down the temperatures. Now the RAM on the Cube is Samsung, so they're Samsung chips and Toshiba, so it's known brands they're using. It's not something you've never heard of. So I mean, it's not particularly bad, but it is bad to see the fact that these are getting up to 85 degrees. Now whose fault is it? I mean, is Intel to blame here? Did Intel have a reference design? Obviously, they've told the manufacturers, no, that's all you need is the spreader tape on top of the chipset. That will be sufficient to keep it cool. And just using the shielding and the heatsink that they've gone with Onda as well. Maybe that's just from Intel again. Maybe the reference design that they had when the first cherry trails came out and they built themselves a reference model. They said, no, that's going to be enough. But it's not good to see. But I think copper heat sinks on these might help with that problem. Definitely will have, actually. So there's a look there at the internals of both of the machines. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you've seen the channel with more up and coming videos on tablets and mobile phones from China. Bye from now.